Hello and welcome to another video of The Buccaneers. Only this time with me, Indah, and no Ellie, because this time she is on a holiday. And last time I was on a holiday, so we're very well coordinated. I mean, she left a couple of days after I arrived, so we couldn't possibly make this video together. But I still hope you enjoy it. If you look at the title, you'll probably see that this is my July wrap-up and my August TBR. July was an amazing reading month for me. I mean, I read 12 books, which is quite astonishing for me. Before I went on holiday, I read 2 more books, and those books are The Battle of the Labyrinth and The Last Olympian, both by Rick Riordan. If you haven't heard of the Percy Jackson series yet, you must be living under a rock, or just have to read the booktube, could be. But it's a middle grade series centering Percy Jackson, who's a half-blood, which means he's half god, half human, and it centers around Greek mythology, something I really like because I had Greek and Latin at school. So that's really interesting, especially because you recognize all the stories and how they are twisted into a modern day version of it. I give The Battle of the Labyrinth 4 stars, and I think 3.75 or something. Just as the third book, which I read the month before, because it wasn't as gripping as all the other books, and I didn't really thoroughly enjoy it. But The Last Olympian was amazing. I swear, it's amazing. I loved it. It was a great conclusion to the series, absolutely action-packed, and never a dull moment, and it was just incredible. Just absolutely incredible. I loved it. After that, I went on a holiday to Greece, which consisted mostly of lots of reading at the pool. So I read 5 books then, and I started with Dark Heroine by Robin Lefebvre. This is the second book in the His Fair Assassin trilogy by Robin Lefebvre, and I loved it. Last year, also on a holiday, I read the first book, Great Mercy, and I adored it. It was great historical fantasy, somewhere along those lines, and the trilogy, the third book's coming out in November, if I'm not mistaken. It centers around 3 assassins. First book centers about Ismay, the second book centers around Sabella, and the third book will center around Annis. It looks really thin compared to the first one, but that's just because the font is tinier. I always thought it was a lot thinner, but it isn't. The thing I really love about these books is that it's really the story of this character, the main character in this case, Sabella, and her story and her journey and her personal development, and that there also is a romance helps that development and is good for the story, but it's not the main part of the story. But on the other hand, it's slow and it's so well done that when they finally do get together, you're screaming and yelling and you're like, oh, this is so cute and adorable. Absolutely fantastic, 5 stars. Can't help. The book I read was Off Poseidon by Anna Banks. I wanted to like Off Poseidon, and many people were raving about it and saying it's amazing, and firstly, it was hilarious. It was really, really funny, and all the side characters were just also hilarious and really added to the story. But a big part of the story was the romance between Galen and Emma, Galen being a prince from Cyrena, which is basically the mermaid, and Emma being a girl with special mermaid powers, though she isn't a mermaid, which is really the conflict of this entire story, and it's all in dual point of views from both Galen and Emma's perspective. It was really insta-lovey, and I really didn't like it. I mean, Galen was being a douche, and he was like really possessive, and I was like, why? Get a grip. And Anna was like, I don't really care, I love him. Like, when have you met him? When did you? Anyway, but it was really funny and quick, like 3.75. The next book I read was Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This is a science fiction retelling of Cinderella, and it takes place in New Beijing, which is just Beijing. Basically, it was rebuilt after the Fourth World War, if I'm not mistaken. it's a sci-fi retelling, and it's so well done. I really enjoyed it. All the side characters were just fantastic, and it's really fun to see where it diverges from the story of Cinderella and where it's just totally sci-fi and futuristic and new and everything. Something I really enjoyed is the font. It's gorgeous. You see this font here of the Lunar Chronicles? Well, the whole book is written in that font. It's gorgeous. Anyway, the entire book's gorgeous. But I rated it 4.5 stars, rounded off to 4 on Goodreads, because there was really one big plot twist in the ending, and what I've heard and what I've seen for reviews, many people saw that coming, and it was just not really that. It was really a big problem at the end of the book, but everybody saw it coming. So that was really my only real issue with it. Also, the romance was great. Nothing really happened, which really surprised me, but it was good. I'm really excited to read Scarlet next. It's gonna be good. The next book I read was another sci-fi book. It was These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This is basically, many people said it was the Titanic in space. Basically, it's like the end of the Titanic where they all sink. It's like this part of this book, and then it's like survival story on this new planet where they crashed on, and it's about Tava, who is a war hero on the ship going back home, and Lilac, who is basically the daughter of the richest and most important man in the entire universe. It's a love story, again told in dual point of view, and it was fantastic. It was so well done and so well written, and actually at the end the sci-fi elements get kind of complicated, so you really have to focus on it. Like for me personally, because I haven't read too much sci-fi, it was like, what is happening right now? I don't get it. Still was really good, and I really enjoyed it. Again, 5 stars. It was just fantastic. I loved it. And the cover is gorgeous, and the second book is coming out in December, so you won't hear me complain. And the last book I read was Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins. Probably one of the most hyped up books on BookTube for a really long while. It's an angel mythology book about Anna Witt. She is the daughter of an angel and a demon, and she learns to control her powers, and of course she meets the really alluring and mysterious Kaiden Rowe, who also is a demon, and the son of the demon of lust, which was really funny. I really enjoyed that. I really liked Kaiden. I mean, he was just who he was. He couldn't help it, and he was funny and gorgeous. And actually, there's quite a bit of this as a road trip story, which is really good. And the ending part I really enjoyed, because Anna got some balls, and she needed them, because in the most part I just really didn't like her, the ultimate good girl. Halfway the book she got really a bit of a Bella Swan feeling, and I was like, we had that. We went through that. Now we want some good stuff. But in the end, she really spiced up a bit. I heard that Sweet Pearl, she does it even more. So I'm really excited to continue the series, and I really enjoyed it. For someone who's read quite a bit of Angel Story, this was a really original take on it, and it's really cool. And many people, if you look at it from a distance, you can see it's red back up on the vampire. No, it isn't, but the red dress kind of does. Then I came back from holiday and read probably one of the most annoying vampire stories on earth, which is The Dark Heroine, Dinner with a Vampire by Abigail Gibbs. I wanted to love this. Actually, I posted an entire review on Goodreads with slight spoilers, it's not really anything big, basically stating my entire problem with this book. And my entire problem was that you shouldn't base a relationship on almost raping / bloodletting each other. Why do you fall in love with it? I really didn't like it. By the way, it's about Violet Lee, who gets kidnapped by a bunch of vampires, and she turns out to be important in the vampire world. I love vampires. I love vampires. It's sexy, the alluring. Like I said, I mentioned Vampire Diaries. I love the Vampire Diaries. But this just wasn't good. It was a typical case of let's fall in love with the bad guy. In the beginning, Violet was a really frustrating character, because in the beginning she was strong and she was really like, I don't want to be here, so leave me alone, like I'm falling in love with you or anything. then after a while, it was like, I shouldn't feel this way. I should be more responsible and self-respectful. I just really don't care. Bye. I was like, what happened to you? He was a nice character. The ending was nice, the mythology was doable, and I really hope there's not going to be 9 books. I'm intrigued for the second book, because it says it's a different character who was also introduced in this book, and I kind of like that, so we'll see. Next up, I read the last 4 books in the Confessions of a Shopaholic series by Sophie Kinsella. I've had these for a really long time, and when I say a really long time, I mean a really long time. Over a year. It's Shopaholic ties and knots. These are the Dutch editions, by the way. Shopaholic and Sister, Shopaholic and Baby, and Mini Shopaholic. And I've rated all of these 3.5 stars, rounded off to 4. These are just so addicting and quick and funny, and it's really nice and chocolatey. And I love Luke, which is basically the reason for me reading this, is because I love Luke. And if you don't know, it's about a girl who is a shopaholic, a woman actually, and she always gets into trouble with her money spending, even with her husband, boyfriend, Luke, who has his own business, random communications, and her friends, and actually she finds out she has a secret sister, and she never knew about it, which is great. So these are all the books I read in July. Because August is already busy, I read a couple of books, but I'm not going to delve into that. I'll go into that in the August wrap-up. But I'll just say I read them already, which is really part of the TBR, which is the 6th Dutch edition of the 6th book in the Pretty Little Liars series called Killer. I was actually planning on marathoning the end of the series till book 8, because I'm not going to continue on for book 8, because the Dutch they translated it up to 8, and I was like, that's a great point to stop. Because it's ginormous, the series. I didn't really enjoy this one. Now I'm wrapping it up anyway. I already wrote the review if you wanted to on Goodreads if you want to know more about my thoughts and stuff. But before the wrap up, I finished The Maze Runner by James Dashner. Fantastic. I'm gonna post a review like really soon, and I really hope you read it. And I'm currently reading, no surprise, The Scorch Trials by James Dashner, the sequel to The Maze Runner. By the way, credits to Ellie for these books, because she recommended them to me, and I didn't really want to read them at first, but they're amazing. I love them. I'm already like 30 pages in this one. I already don't want to stop reading, but I thought I need to make a video, but anyway. And afterwards, I'm gonna read for sure The Death Kill by James Dashner, the 3rd and final book. There's also a prequel, but I don't own it. And afterwards, I've got no clue what I'm gonna read in August. I don't have a TBR jar or anything. So, good luck with that, I guess. So this was the video. I really hope that next time Ellie and I can do another video together. I really hope you stick around to then. And, anyway, I hope you had an amazing July and have an amazing August. I still hope you enjoy your holidays before you go back to school, college, whatever. So I'm gonna see you again next time, so goodbye for now. Bye!